Hey everyone, let's start healing. I'm Adrienne Murchison, and welcome to the Let's Start Healing podcast. We have more in common than we think, and what we have in common can change the world. Well, I am back. This is a new season for Let's Start Healing in many ways. And this is 170, the 170th episode. And I have a lot of things coming for you this season, coming to you. Um, Very interesting guests that are coming that have visited with me and had some wonderful conversations. And I wanted to come this episode, just me talking to you to just share some new things. This podcast means a lot to me. I started it in 2019. I started it April, so the pandemic wasn't until obviously the next fall. But I was really going well. I had really great momentum with the podcast. And then I started working full time on staff with a news media company. And I wasn't able to bring it as consistently, but I still brought it to you. I've still been bringing it to you. And I'm trying to say that I want to be more consistent with how I bring you this podcast. And it has been a matter of bandwidth and wanting to come to you in an authentic way and just trying to juggle work and this passion and this entity that is so important to me. And again, I'm on the 170th episode, so it has been coming to you, but I know sometimes it might be every week and then it might be every 2 weeks. And I've been on a break just now. So I want you to really become invested in this podcast because I think that it is so important. And as you know, I'm talking to people about their relationship with God, their relationship with themselves, their relationship with, when I say God, whatever that divine entity is for them. For some people, it's the universe. For some people, it's nature. I say God because for me, it's God and it's Jesus. But everyone is welcome on this podcast as long as they come in love. And there's so much that we can learn from each other. And especially now, it's so important that we are open with each other. And one of my inspirations for bringing you this podcast in the very beginning, and I've mentioned this before, but it's been my study of A Course in Miracles. And until the pandemic, from 2008 to 2020, I was attending a discussion group, a spiritual discussion group every Sunday, which was the study of A Course in Miracles. And that form of study draws people from so many different backgrounds. Some people were Jewish, many were Christian. Some people grew up in a household where Jesus was a very, very bad word. It wasn't something that it wasn't, Jesus wasn't a welcomed conversation in their household. So there's people from those types of backgrounds. There's people who are atheists who have come to the study of A Course in Miracles and attending these groups, these group discussions, and me being determined to just talk authentically and be authentic. When I started attending the group in 2008, it was such a gift. It was such a wonderful shift and healing for me to be around people from such different backgrounds, and we could all talk and open up, and there was no judgment, and we can learn from each other, even if the path that this person on isn't the path that I'm on, or the path that I'm on isn't the path that that person is on. And or maybe we might not be aligned in what someone is saying, but we still can learn something from what that person is saying and how they approach their spirituality and their own healing in their own circumstances. And I loved that so much that I wanted to somehow bring that to this kind of a platform. And when I started studying A Course in Miracles, I really was in a place where I wanted to live more authentically. And I wanted that affirmation about how much God loves me and loves all of us. And I actually started studying A Course in Miracles in 2005, but started attending that group in '08. And when I was growing up, I used to, and I grew up Catholic. I've shared that before. And I used to, when I was, I don't know, young, 6, 7, 8 years old, older and younger, I used to love to just open up the Bible. I loved our family Bible, which was a sizable Bible, bound very beautifully, beautiful pictures, slick pages, where the photos were, that I just used to love to rub my hand down the pages of this Bible. And for me, what I was reading was such an affirmation of how much God loves us. And anything that I read that in the Bible or outside of the Bible that said that God doesn't love us, or that um God judges us or is angry or speaks about the wrath of God, didn't resonate for me, because it was a contradiction to the just endless infinite love of God for us. So how can God love us in one way here and in another way there? And that's how my life has played out. That's been so affirmed for me. And it's been so essential for me, being someone who, as an adult, largely has lived alone. It's been God who has brought me through so many amazing things and who has comforted me in so many ways, who I have had exchanges of communication with. And so that knowing has had me wanting to be able to convey to anyone who needs to hear it, who may doubt how much God loves you. I want to be one of those affirming tools, children of God, who can assure you that you're not alone and that God loves you so very much, no matter what, no matter what. So that's one of the driving forces for me wanting to bring this podcast to you. Another part of that is the healing process. And that's something that I can speak to about myself. And I love talking to my guests about how they have come through different difficult circumstances. And it's such a process. And it can be so easy to go into denial or to shut down when it comes to things that are hard for us to deal with. And for me, I have found that that doesn't work for me. That because I'm alone so much, I've been alone so much from my 20s to now, that I found I can't run away from me. So I want to work these things out that come up for me, different issues that I know that I might have. I like to work them out, and I can only work them out in God. If I work them out just on my own, away from God, then I'm in my ego. So that is another aspect that I feel called to walk in with you with this podcast. And it's occurred to me that, and I'm sure you as well, that we're at a time right now in this world and certainly in this country where we can feel and sense the vibration of this being a different time. And it doesn't matter what I'm seeing. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum we might be on. It feels like we're all aware that we're in a different time. And even people who are so focused on making some of the change in this country that some of us might not agree with, I think even people in that lane are aware of this is a different time. All of us are aware. So the question to me is, what does that mean to you? What are you called to do right now? What do you think that you're called to do for yourself and God is calling you to do? Because I don't think those are two different things. They are the same. They are the same. If you're feeling really driven by this passion inside you, a passion that's rooted in who you are, which must be rooted in love, God is aligned with that. And my question is, are you walking in that direction of what you feel called to do? And it can be so easy to not walk in that direction when we have so many pressures on us in this life and in this world. And I have so much going on right now in terms of work that brings me income, and it's freelance work. I'm a freelance journalist, and I was on staff with a media company until last August, and thankfully, I have gotten a great deal of freelance work, and sometimes that becomes so much that I haven't had time to focus on Let's Start Healing, which is my passion, which I mean just makes me feel alive and purposeful. And there were a couple of weeks, and I remember one week in particular not long ago, and I had most of the time I work from home, but there are definitely occasions when I have to go out, and in order to do my job, I have to go out on for an assignment that I'm covering, and I have to meet with different people, or there's an event, or there's something going on, and that can wear on my spirit. And I remember I was feeling so worn out because I had these back to back to back to back things going on this one week. And I felt so worn out. And I remember thinking about loved ones who are not here, who left, died too soon, and thinking how I understood. I was having an understanding about how if we're not living in our purpose and we're just going through the motions, or we're just in a grind, we're in a grind of doing something that's not speaking to who we are as humans. It's not speaking to our spirit and what we feel that we're here to do. If it's not speaking to that, I can see where we would die. I could see where our will to live might go away. I can see where that might lead to um, an addiction, substance abuse, or we just might say, why am I here? What am I doing? And so it is so essential It is so essential that we are walking in what we feel is our calling. And it's amazing when we think about it, how we have evolved over the last 20 years, less than 20 years. I was looking at a Super Soul Sunday, Oprah's Super Soul Sunday episode. I was looking at an episode from 2011, I think. And my gosh, I wish I could remember the pastor she was talking to, because this I really, really enjoy this pastor. I think I don't want to get to lying about what type of church he was from, but I really, really enjoyed him, and he's since retired. But part of their conversation was about how the idea of spirituality was new for a lot of people. Just the conversations about what spirituality is and how to talk about it was foreign to so many people at that time. And Oprah was also reflecting. And now look at how far we've come, even since the pandemic, where many of you are thinking about what makes you happy, what you really, really, really want to do. And so the thing is to keep doing it, to keep moving forward. No matter how much things may slow down for you, keep moving forward. Do not give up on you. And what are you called to do? What are you called to do for yourself? How are you called to show up? Because you are called to show up in a way that is authentic and perfect for you. One of the things that I'm called to do right now personally is to take care of me. Take care of me, take care of my spirit, take care of my health, take care of my state of mind, and what that looks like, and to stay connected to God, to as much as I can, and what that looks like for me. What that looks like for me is prayer and meditation, and staying in that, continuing to ask God what he wants me to know, to continuing to pour my heart out to God. I was doing a meditation with a dear friend of mine, Stephanie Dean, who has been on this podcast before, and we are starting a podcast together, which I will share with you at another time. But if you remember, Stephanie, on this podcast, she has talked about her angel cards, and she is very intuitive and very gifted, and angels speak to her through her reading of her angel cards. And so we were talking about something that was on my mind, and we were doing this reading actually over the phone. And when we started, the cards that she was turning over, they weren't really speaking deeply to her. So we went into a meditation, and she led us in a meditation that she created. What she said to me was just incredibly beautiful and deep. And during the meditation, I kept crying. I was just crying and crying, as we're going through it. And she thought she was upsetting me, but she wasn't. I was purging. I was cleansing. I told her, we hear about Eckhart Tolle talks about pain bodies that we have in ourselves. And I was releasing some of my pain bodies. And then after we finished the meditation and we started talking, and then we started the cards again, and she was uh, speaking to me, giving me a reading. And then the next day, I went into a meditation. And for me, one of the dear prayers for me or connections that I have spiritually, one of them is with Mary, the mother of Jesus. And so I will do uh, Hail Mary prayer from the rosary, and I will say that prayer 50 times, or sometimes I say them 50 times, sometimes I say them less. And that day I said Hail Mary through the rosary and went in to this deep meditation. On my TV, I had on YouTube healing binaural beats healing music for the sacral chakra, and I just went into meditation and prayer, and again I was crying, 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 and just pouring my heart out, and it was so powerful. And this communication for me, and it looks different. Our meditations, our prayers, our connections, they look different for each of us. And the point is that we get into that space that resonates for each of us. So, one of the things I'm called to do right now for myself is continue to practice that. And I had a realization a couple of months ago, not even, because it was right after my birthday, which was the end of April. I realized that I'm being also within myself called to forgive myself and to forgive other people. And it could be something from long ago, it could be something recent. And one, I have to have a willingness to forgive and then have a practice around forgiving. And so I've meditated. And how that came about was that I heard from someone, and I'll be honest, I heard very um, briefly, just a simple note and a confusing video I received from the last person I was in a relationship with. And at that point that I received it, I was in a really good place. I had done a lot of healing around this breakup. But then I found in the following days that he's showing up in my dreams, he's on my mind. I feel like I'm taking steps backwards. And so what I decided was I was going to uh, go into a place of deeper forgiveness. And not only me forgiving, but in my spirit, ask for his forgiveness for whatever he thinks I did. And that has helped me. That has helped me. And there's prayers around this. I wish I had my journal in front of me because I would share. But one of the prayers is, oh, well, I can't pronounce this name of this song, but the Hawaiian saying, um, Hohopa no, I'm not saying it right. Hohopa oh no. I bet you're saying it correctly right now. But the prayer is something like, thank you, please forgive me, I love you, something like that. No, this is it. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And there's a song, I have that actually in song on my phone, but I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it's a form of releasing. And what I also say, I add to that is, I forgive you. So I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, I forgive you. And you really can say that in whatever order that you want. And another part that I add to that is I give you back what is yours and I take back what is mine. And a beautiful healer that I know, Kevin Coe, who has also been on this podcast, he shared that with me. I don't know if it originated with him or not, but it's so beautiful. I give you back what is yours, I take back what is mine. And so that has been very, very healing for me. And again, I don't think we should put the cart before the horse when it comes to forgiveness. If we're not ready to forgive, then I think it's a matter of being honest with ourselves and our higher power, for me, God, and say, God, I'm willing to forgive, but I'm not ready to forgive. I'm not in a place of forgiveness. And just that little acknowledgement is a shift, just that acknowledgement. And I want to share something from A Course in Miracles around forgiveness, because some people, I have some loved ones in my life, one I'm thinking of in particular, who says to me sometimes around forgiveness, I don't forgive. You better than me. I don't forgive. And that person says something like that person, whoever they're not forgiving under this circumstance, that person is just out of their life, but they don't forgive. But forgiveness is a willingness. We are capable of forgiving. It's just about, are we willing to try to forgive? And in A Course in Miracles, the the truth is, if we can forgive ourselves, if we can forgive ourselves for whatever we think we did, then we're able to forgive other people. If we can have that grace with ourselves, then we can have that grace with others. So I want to just share something very quickly, which says, ask not to be forgiven. Let me put this over this way. It'd be a little easier. Okay. Ask not to be forgiven, for this has already been accomplished. Ask rather to learn how to forgive and to restore what always was to your unforgiving mind. Atonement becomes real and visible to those who use it. On earth, this is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn: forgiveness. You will feel guilty until you learn this. For in the end, whatever form it takes, your guilt arises from your failure to fulfill your function in God's mind with all of yours. You need not understand creation to do what must be done before that knowledge would be meaningful to you. And there is this other part. I have to go to the other side here. There's this other part that I love in this book. I love this so much. It says, decide that God is right and you are wrong about yourself. Decide that God is right and you are wrong about yourself and whatever negative thing you are thinking or feeling about yourself. He created you out of himself, but still within him. He knows what you are. God knows what you are. Remember that there is no second to him. There cannot therefore be anyone without his holiness. You cannot be without his holiness, nor anyone unworthy of his perfect love. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place, made out of darkness and deceit. For thus darkness and deceit are undone. Fail not yourself. For this small appreciation I'm sorry, fail not yourself, but instead offer to God and you his blameless son. For this small gift of appreciation for God's love will exchange your gift for God's gift. You know, something that is so affirming to me about how God is inside each of us is when I think about the soul, because a couple of things, a couple of podcasts that I've been watching lately have asked about the soul. What is the soul? And there have been different answers about what is the soul. And I should look up right now what it says in the dictionary. But the soul, I believe, I know, I know, is proof of God. The soul is proof of God. Because if you've ever seen someone who is not alive, someone who has died, if you've ever seen that person, then you see that they are then a body. They are then a body. That essence that made that person who they were has left. It has left. That essence is of God. That's not of man. That's not of human. That's of God. It didn't go to sleep because they're not sleeping like you and I might do tonight. They're not doing that. They have transitioned. And that essence, that essential part of them has left their body. That's proof of God. And proof of God, as what I just shared, is that you are of God. So you can't be anything but holy. And when you and I, or you or I behave in a different way, it's a matter of forgetting who we are. And that can intensify. That forgetfulness can intensify and become rage or murder and hate. It can become so many things. But if we unwind that down and remove those layers, it becomes what I just described, the essence of God. So I want to just go back to sharing how, again, this season, I'm excited about it. I have some things that I'm really excited about bringing you. One of them is a super special podcast episode that I'm planning to bring you in September. And I will share more about that later. And I have some wonderful guests that are coming to you immediately. Also, I'm asking you to take Let's Start Healing to a different place for you and for me. I feel that this podcast is important work. And so I'm asking you to start sharing Let's Start Healing. Please share this podcast. Please make it a decision, a point in your life to share this podcast with at least one person that you know. Each episode, please share this episode with someone that you feel would benefit from it or find it interesting. Please like the episode. I really want Let's Start Healing to grow, and I'm going to do everything that I can to come to you more consistently, to come to you each week and to hopefully come to you on the same day of the week. But what I would like for you to do is to look out for Let's Start Healing, subscribe, and maybe in the short term, if I'm not able to come to you on the same day of the week, every week, still be aware. Be aware that it's coming. And when you get that alert, listen to the episode. And I tend to listen to podcasts when I'm in an activity. If I'm running or if I'm in the car or if I'm getting dressed, something like that. And if it's super, super compelling, then I'm sitting on my couch and I am listening or I'm watching. But I would say 80% of the time, at least, I'm doing it while I'm engaged in an activity and I'm able to absorb it. So I'm asking you to please subscribe. Please like the episode. This helps the algorithms. And that's my understanding. I'm absolutely no expert, but that is my understanding. And I have some great content here, and I want it to get out. I want people to see some of these episodes. Did you see my episode with Marianne Williamson? Did you ever see my episode where I'm talking with someone about Enneagrams? Did you ever see my episode where I was talking with a dear friend about his journey through alcoholism? There's so many episodes, and I'll start sharing some more clips of these episodes. I'm also going to be very soon asking for monetary support around Let's Start Healing to keep it going. And when I say that, I mean whatever you're able to contribute. And this can help Let's Start Healing grow and evolve in terms of where we're broadcasting from, in terms of equipment. It helps in so many ways. And the structure of that will be where uh, it's asking for whatever you can provide. I'm not doing that in this particular solo episode, but I just want to let you know of a few things to come. And again, this is a passion for me. This is a passion for me. I don't know if I ever shared this before, but I had this realization. I used to have this desire. I would say back in the 90s, I used to have this desire that I wanted to change the world. And I had this letter that I wrote to someone in the 90s. We were a guy that I met and we were writing back and forth. And I still have it. I might share it if I could find the thing because I had it not that long ago. And I wrote him this letter and I made a copy of it. That's why I have the letter, because I was telling him, like, I want to change the world and I don't know what that looks like, but I want to change the world. And then what I realized as the years went on was that we all change the world by being the best person that we can be, by answering that call, that call for our purpose that I mentioned earlier. That's how we change the world. And for me, I love talking to people. I love connecting with people at that what I call intimate level, that authentic place where they share who they really are and what their real connection is with themselves and that Holy Spirit within them. I love those kinds of conversations, and it helps me to learn and to grow. And it shows us that we're not alone. We're all human. We're not alone. And when we get beneath those layers, we are not that different. That's why we do have more in common than we think. And what we have in common can change the world. So I'm sure I'm forgetting something to share with you, but this is it for now. You ever on call with somebody, some customer service, and they say, bye for now. Bye for now. So I'm going to say bye for now. And just thank you. Thank you for your support and letting me know that this podcast speaks to you. And I'll be coming right back with an episode that I know that you're going to enjoy. I've got some great guests lined up for you already. So, all right. Until next time, let's start healing.